All right. This is funny. This is the first time we've ever done a remote call with one of us.
Right, where the hosts are split up.
Yeah, it's so weird to not see you here in person.
Yeah, I've been in isolation since Wednesday.
It's wild. Wait, so tell the people what's going on with you.
I got really sick. I started coughing a lot in the middle of the night and then was feeling kind of had chills and just really exhausted. And my boss was like, "Go home. Go home," because everyone's panicking about COVID-19.
Right.
And then I went to the doctor and I tested negative for flu. And my doctor was actually Chinese, which was nice. It like actually made me feel better. And she was like, "Don't worry, like, she's like, you haven't been to any of the countries, you haven't traveled, if you're not in contact with anyone directly who's been diagnosed positive for COVID-19, then there's no reason to worry. You just probably have one of the other many viruses that are out there right now."
Right.
And I was like, she's like, just, avoid crowds and take care of yourself. So I've just been resting and like avoiding people.
Yeah,
Which is what I always want in life is to just stay home. And then now that I'm forced to do it, I hate it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of the dream to be told that you have to stay home and avoid crowds, but
like I missed, like I was supposed to go with my food writer friend to a free dinner at a French restaurant. I was supposed to go to like my friend Angel Yao's birthday party and screen a new short. Like these are fun things.
Right, the
It's
things
funny.
you actually
It's
want
like-
to do.
It's boy who cried wolf kind of situation now. Or that's not the right analogy, but now I'm like, I take it back. I take it back.
Right. Yeah, the emotion's the same. All right, should we do this thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Welcome to Witchcast.
'Cause it's Witchcast.
I'm Emily,
I'm Kate.
and we are your hosts.
Yes, we are of the Witchcast podcast.
Yeah, the Witchcast podcast is a podcast all about all things that have been labeled as witchcraft or anything sort of outside of the mainstream of Western culture, I guess, or whatever. What do you think, Kate?
Yeah,
Help me out
I
here.
think so. I think anything that's kind of seen as mysticism or spiritual or pagan, witchy, anything that's kind of esoteric, maybe is the word, is what we're interested in.
We're talking about it. Whatever
We're
you've got,
learning.
we're talking about it.
Yeah.
It's so funny to do this without you next to me that I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I
I'm
think we're
floundering
killing
here.
it. I think it's great that we're at season 3, episode 10, and we still can't do our intro.
I know, our own intro. I would
Yeah.
love to hear a montage of all the different things we've tried.
Yeah, I would too. We can do that. At some
Just a
point.
bonus, like a blooper reel of all the things that we've said that I've cut, and then we've tried again.
Yes, that would be great. I would love that.
But yeah, Witchcast podcast, all things witchy, pagan, spiritual, new agey, whatever you want.
Folk, yeah.
Folk magic, folk lore, folk medicine.
You get the idea.
You get it. And today we have a guest with us.
Yes, we have a really special guest. I'm so excited.
Yes. Please welcome Melissa Sung.
Hi.
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 Do you prefer Melissa or Mel?
I don't, really, whatever.
Okay.
People just call me whatever. I'm fine with it. Some people call me Michelle even.
Oh, well,
That's
Michelle.
not my
don't do that.
name.
They call me
That's
Stacey.
not even-
That's not my name.
That's cool. Whatever you want to call me.
We'll go with
Oh,
Melissa
God.
then.
I just say Melissa because sometimes people think maybe it's short for Melanie or
Oh, yeah.
Melody. So I just want to be like, it's Melissa. But then from after that, like, call me whatever you want.
So
Yeah.
you do all sorts of different things. You do, well, you tell us.
I know.
Yeah,
What-
it's, you
what
have, there's a
do
long,
I do? I'm like
there's a long list.
as I said before, I'm a doer of things.
You teach yoga.
I teach yoga. With the yoga, I did trainings through Science of Self, so we learned
Yes.
about the meridians of Chinese medicine. So we combine those theories with asana, with the yoga asana, and then we
Right.
do acupressure. I took a training and learned auricular, the ear acupuncture, the 5 points
Yeah.
for detox and recovery.
So do you do only ear acupressure and acupuncture, or do you do...
Full body
Full body?
acupressure, but the acupuncture is the 5 points in the ear. So your
Cool.
ear, which is like really trippy if you Google this, is like representative of an upside down fetus.
What?
So you know how like if you're like I have a headache and you like naturally like kind of grab at your earlobes, that's your head,
What?
right? And then your spine is like the cartilage. Right?
Oh boy,
Yeah,
I'm so
it's-
excited to talk to you.
Pictures are like trippy, and so anyway, but before this journey, I was a social worker for 10 years in supportive housing.
That's
So I have
amazing.
my LMSW, and I don't do that right now, but I do a lot of volunteer work, so it kind of feels a lot like coming back full circle, which is cool, but in a different capacity. So we do acupressure, ear acupuncture. On
That's so
people.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
You are a helper of people. I feel like looking at your bio and that kind of
Aw,
thing.
Yeah, yeah, like I live to serve, I suppose.
Right. How long have
in
you
service of
felt that
others.
urge?
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. It just like happens. I don't even know really why I got my MSW. Well, also like when I graduated college, that summer I came back, and that fall was 9/11.
Oh God.
So I was like, oh, okay, like this could all go to hell. Like I might as well do something meaningful, right? So that really kind of reframes, especially like year after college. You think you're so great.
Right.
And then you're not. Like, actually, I never really thought it was that
Well,
great.
no, yeah.
But
I think the year after college, I was very down on myself.
yeah,
but
it's just like the world comes crashing down a little bit, and you just have to figure it out and like be somewhat calm throughout all of that.
Yeah, be patient with it.
Totally. And then working in supportive housing with people with really complex medical issues, you really learn how fragile life is, especially like the mantras of people who are in recovery. Like you're not promised a tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or people working through their addiction. Or just even knowing people have passed or
Yeah.
finding them. Like you really get a sense of how fragile life can be, and so that was impressed in me somehow through all of those events, I think, and I guess this is what informs what I'm doing now. Because I'm a little bit also like, what am I doing now? But it's cool, so I'm gonna go with it and see where it goes. So you're hearing
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're hearing
No,
it now.
I love it.
Who
And-
knows where we'll be later?
I mean, it's so cool to the stuff that you do, like acupressure, acupuncture, like meridian yoga. First of all, it's something I know very little about. I've done some Googling today, but
Cool.
but that I feel very interested in. I think a lot of people are. And it really is, we're in a time where a lot of people are looking into taking better care of themselves. And also people really need it. We're in a really anxious time period. And so I think, what you're doing sounds really cool, even if you don't have, even if you don't know, looking from the outside looking in, it looks very interesting and cool.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's
Positive.
amazing. Right, when people can see things in you that you can't see for yourself, like that's really beautiful. And I feel like I am that for others, but it's a struggle to see it for myself. So it's that idea of like
Right.
outside looking in, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I also feel like that's part of being human, is never really knowing, right, of what our purpose is or who we are, or continually trying to find that journey and that quest. And in my very brief research and limited knowledge of Taoism, which we'll also touch on too, it seems it ties into that idea of, Tao is like undefinable, but something that you journey and endeavor to understand more through these practices, right?
Right.
Yeah. And on that note, so today's topic, we're talking about everything that Melissa does, basically, but
All
the
about
focus is
Melissa.
on, Taoism and traditional Chinese medicine, just as what we're going to kind of talk about a little bit, coming in with some research. And we'll talk a little bit about yoga too, but I think a lot of people are pretty familiar with yoga, but we'll define some terms anyway, just so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, and I think obviously, like everything we touch on, there's such big, broad topics, and this is, again, going to be very, I think, kind of just dipping our toe in. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there as well in terms of yoga specifically, and also traditional Chinese medicine. So hopefully we can help demystify some of these kind of ideas, especially because I think the Western world totally kind of ingests these philosophies and these practices in the way that they want to, right?
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of. I mean, yeah. We'll get there. We'll touch on that when we get there.
Maybe the theme is like in with all of that, because it's really overwhelming and kind of like these swirling ideas. Like, how can you find that in a, like your modern context, or
Yeah.
connect to it without like overthinking it?
Right.
Because I think that's the essence of it is like nature and nothing, like almost like finding nothingness, right? Like,
Woo.
yeah. Or the void.
Ooh.
Like from the void comes creation.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is like,
That's
this is
beautiful.
what I think about now. It's like amazing. I have friends. But
No,
like,
that's so cool.
yeah, like it's
Give
from
us all your
nothingness,
thoughts.
from nothingness comes creation. And so you can think of that in many figurative ways. That's the other thing about like all of what I'm doing is this idea of like, it all might have a label and a name, but it's all could be the same figurative energy, and it's coming back to nature or noticing nature, and then internal nature. Like if your body is a representation of the cosmos, I mean, I'm sure that's something that's a very common thought, but I think that's very relevant here. And like, your organs have a nature, just like something in the natural world. And yoga, a lot of the poses, and in Tai Chi, it's like named after animals or like natural things, like a mountain.
Right.
So while a lot of energy can be spent like putting labels on things, it is like, I've been spending some time with some old school young lords, which it's like it's an honor, because these guys like took over. With the Black Panthers and others in the community, took over Lincoln Hospital, and I was like, we're bringing wellness to the people. And so I've connected with them through my volunteer work now, and I'm learning so much. So I'll ask, this is like one of my questions for people is like, what is your legacy? Like, what do you want us as a younger generation to carry on? And one of the answers was like this one tree, like all of these different branches of like the names that we were just talking about.
Right.
It's all like one tree of healing, wellness, connection to others.
Like, or learning to understand your own body and your world, and
Right. Like they're
how you
not
relate to it.
right. They're not connected. Right.
Yeah.
Through the knowledge of your internal self, and you have more knowledge of the external world, and then vice versa. As you observe the external world, you might have more knowledge about your internal.
Yeah. And we've talked
environment.
about, I mean, a lot of the systems that we've talked about are in many ways just ways of interpreting something that is not static, but that is, there is a world out there. There is this sort of set of energies or whatever else. And your job is just to choose a way to interpret it and to work with different methods of interpretation, right?
Right.
And so
how
in
do you-
some ways it's just a way to communicate with that.
yeah. And how do you find that in a big city?
Oh my gosh.
Right? We're
How
like-
do you find that in a big
Yeah.
city?
I think that is
That is
my
the question.
path, right? Like, that's my doing.
Negotiating that.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
that's so cool.
our mountains are our buildings, and like the valleys are
Right. Yeah.
our
So really I'm doing
streets.
skyscraper pose.
Totally.
I actually really like that.
Yeah, we could do that. In the class, we'll do that. I mean, even like the subway. I think the subway is a beautiful thing. Like this is, you really get to learn about humanity on the subway. Also, I grew up taking the subway at a young age, so like you learn so much about people and connections, and really terrible things you can see on the train, and then really beautiful things you can see on the train. So.
Yeah. I thought you meant the train itself. Have you guys seen the movie My Neighbor Totoro? Yeah, in the movie My Neighbor Totoro, there's like a character that turns into like a subway trainish cat, and it looks like the train at night looks like that to me. And I see it, and I always think of it as like this animal snaking around the corner. So it's very like, and that kind of makes it feel more like a natural thing and not just like this metal tube that's rocketing around.
Wow. You both are way more zen about the MTA than I am. I have such...
Well, I also
such
don't go on it at
disdain
rush
for it.
hour very often these days.
That's true. I mean, I love that mentality though, Melissa, that you were saying of kind of embracing our surroundings regardless of what they are. I think so often I'm so focused on what I don't have or what I'm not around. Like I feel very like deprived of nature, and it makes me very like irritated and angry and frustrated, and I turn that I blame the city. I'm like, oh, I fucking hate this city, man, and like I need to get out of it, and all my problems are because of the city, because it's just so easy to have like an enemy. And but you're right, I mean, like a more like beneficial mindset would be to kind of, you know, accepting my surroundings and what my environment for what it is, because it is a lot of humanity, and there are some really beautiful moments that I've had on the subway. There are really gross moments too. It's just sometimes all that humanity can feel like too much, like sometimes
Too much
that
humanity.
sensory overload gets to me.
Right. So from I feel like I've scratched the surface of like trying to learn more about Taoism, but from what you just said, it's like, yeah, trying to control it is what creates discomfort. Like, you know, it's that idea of like going back to what is natural and not controlling and not intervening necessarily. I mean, there's a time and a place, right? And then the social worker in me is like, you have to take the power back, girl. Like, like, you know, like, don't be a victim of the city. Like, you know, like a lot of it's perspective, and how can you change that perspective so that you're not a victim of New York City. Or the MTA, which, I mean, there's some days it's very real. I get that. I totally get that. But also, like, how can you find peace in that so you don't, like, bug out?
Right. Change the things you can, accept the things you can't, right?
Right. And then the yoga teacher in me would be like, just breathe. Right?
I want to just like have a little mini you in my pocket all the time. Just
like, breathe.
Keep me centered.
Yeah.
Take the power back.
Take the power back.
Don't be a victim.
God, the need to control is so hard to let go of.
Well, and that's a lot of what I'm learning through yoga practice, right? Or it's like your true self lies in your heart, and it's your mind and your ego. And I'm not saying you, but like you, right. All of us, right? Mm-hmm. That's a distraction and can be the cause of suffering because we're kind of caught up in our minds without really listening to our hearts. And then the heart is, especially in Chinese medicine, is related very much to the mind and the spirit and to connection with self and to connection with others. So it's really beautiful. It's just like you can't not like when I see, like, going back to the subway, right? Like the more I practice yoga, the more I practice this, the more internally sensitive I feel, or I'm more aware of what I am feeling. Because I think as a social worker, I spent a lot of those 10 years kind of cutting that off as far as boundaries and like really not like just being appropriate so that I could be more of a leader in the environment. But like if you see something really just really gut-wrenching walking by, like I really do feel that. And it's like very figuratively someone described connective tissue that way, like that runs through our body. Like you can kind of pull or touch on one part of your body and it can affect another part of your body. And so when I see something that really like touches my heart, whether in a good or bad way, like in the subway, I'm like, this is part of all of that connectedness on a level of our community and people, spirituality, stuff like that. So I do think our body represents that in that way. I do a lot of thinking on the subway.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah, like
great.
We are kind of one big body as like a community.
Yeah.
And so when one thing pulls, another thing.
Yeah, like you feel that spiritually, right? When somebody's hurting, like you feel that. Like why do you feel that? Is it because we're connected, right? Or the earth, like what's happening with the earth? Like all of all of the fucking stuff happening with the earth. Like, you know, we feel that too somehow. And so it's very interesting, just the idea of, I think like the Taoists, what they did was they had the time and the focus to look inwards and meditate and then notice. And so if you don't know about what the Chinese medicine, the meridian theory is that we have energy pathways that run throughout our body. So they likely run in our connective tissue, which is just under the surface of our skin. So you can affect meridians by either putting needles in for acupuncture or pressure with your fingers. And then with yoga, it's with the posture, whether it's a twist or a forward fold. And then like even more is your mind. Like, can you see the pathways? Can you free up any sort of stagnation or excess that's stuck somewhere? You know, can you even observe it in your body? So it's a lot of mental work as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I just said a lot.
No, it's yeah.
Her face is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kate's
she's
best.
like, no, it's good. It's good.
I know, I'm just taking it all in. This all just is resonating very much with me. Do we want to take a step back and you like kind of going off of what you just were saying, Melissa, it maybe kind of define.
Yeah. You know what? I
Exactly.
think that would be a really great thing to do. Why don't we just go through some basic terms in terms of, I was thinking yoga, traditional Chinese medicine, meridians you kind of just covered, but I don't know, we can go a little more in depth. And then Kate, you have stuff on Taoism, right? Or did you do that?
I mean, I would love to touch on just a little bit about Taoist.
We can just define what it is also.
yeah.
I think if you want to just read the Wikipedia for a second.
Yeah, read the Wikipedia because I don't know if I could define it.
not-
I just
right,
feel like
that's
it is the way. And like,
yeah, I mean,
it's
so
nothing. And from nothing comes chi,
Exactly.
and from chi comes yin and yang, and from yin and yang come the 5 elements, and then everything else. Like, and you're like, oh.
Right. There's not really
that what
actually a
Wikipedia
super
says?
clear definition of like this is Taoism. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that I could tell in my research.
Let me get my thingy open. My thingy.
Yeah.
I have a a regular Word document that I emailed to Kate right before this, which is just full of Wikipedia summaries.
Yeah,
It
basically.
was very helpful.
First of all, I stole from your website just the phrase that, or what you say that you do, which is meridian yoga sequencing combines the influences of Dharma Mitra, Ashtanga, Hatha, and Vinyasa style with the body maps of traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, first of all, let's talk about yoga.
Sure. Yeah.
So yoga is actually, we think of it in a Western sense, in terms of what it's become is about the physical activity of yoga, but yoga is actually a set of a whole bunch of different things. It's like a physical, mental, spiritual set of practices. It's a pillar of Hinduism. Yoga doesn't just mean the exercises, it means a lot of other things. But in this context, we're mostly talking about the physical yoga. Yeah?
Kind of. I mean, as a yoga teacher, it's like yoga is something different to everybody. Like I like need to understand that. So I need to also allow for that, right?
Mhm.
Like if someone wants to come to class and they just want a workout, cool, let's do that. If someone comes to class and they want to learn more about their internal world, that's cool too. If this is an act of devotion, that's totally what yoga is there for as well. So that for me, like yoga is many things, and somewhere on the average is like what it is. But I feel like it means so much to people on a very personal level
Yeah.
that it is hard to kind of like this is what yoga is. But all I would like to sum up maybe is that it's an ancient practice,
Yeah.
right? Just like Tai Chi and a lot of other practices. And if you're gonna look at Yoga Sutras, yoga is self-knowledge, and I really deeply care about that, right?
Yeah.
So whether you just want to work out, that's cool too. You're still working on your own self-knowledge. You know what you need, right? You need a workout, right? So
Yeah.
if you tap into that, then I feel like I've done my job, right? Or if you just know your breath a little bit more, how do you breathe? Then that is more self-knowledge than you've walked in with.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is yoga for you specifically, Melissa? And how did you how were you introduced to yoga?
Right. Well, we had yoga in high school. I went to Bronx Science. So it was just
Nice.
sleeping. Like people just slept
Mm.
on bolsters. And I was like, and everyone wanted yoga. If I never got yoga, maybe I did one semester and I was like, this is really just sleeping. So actually, but 9/11 really, I think, is what got me into it, because I was working at the knitting factory, which was located there
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And two people came in with these flyers, and they're like, we're opening up a yoga studio. And it was like a free pass, and I love free stuff. So,
Right.
yeah. So I went with one of my coworkers, maybe two, and we went, and it was like a packed room, and we were new, and then the teacher put us in front facing the rest of the class, which was mortifying, which I wouldn't do to somebody, but
Right.
but to experience it was, I was like kind of like, oh God, what's going on? And also like, this is really mortifying, but also I was like, I'm totally coming back.
Right.
So like, no judgment on that. Like that, like it got me really interested in it, because I was like, all these people are coming here, and it's a packed room, and that guy's doing a handstand, and that woman's like stretching out, and like, this is amazing. So it was really cool to actually see the whole room from the front and face my own,
Wow.
you know. But also just so after 9/11, I kind of started to notice that people were finding yoga to deal with anxiety, and it's just to help deal with the stress of social work and the population I was working with. I was like, I need to make a commitment to myself to take care of myself, because this could easily go off the rails. 'Cause I don't know if you know groups of social workers, and I'm not, like, no offense, but like, you really can get into habits that are not self-serving and not healthy, to cope with the stress. Even though you're trying to help people, like, are you also leading by example and helping yourself? So I felt like people were really getting into or people I would observe who did the similar work. It's like, okay, well, alcohol's not going to be an option for me. Like, just like, I'm a real lightweight. Like, I'm not going down that path. And just like getting into these really toxic loops of, this idea of like being a victim of the MTA. It's like, are you a victim of your job? Are you a victim of the population that you work with? Because how are you supposed to work to empower somebody to get out of whatever cycle they're stuck in if you yourself are stuck in a cycle you might not be conscious of? So I was aware of that, and so I thought yoga would be helpful. And I guess now that I've teaching and kind of really delved into it, it really is a healing. I didn't want to be a teacher. I'm like, I don't want people looking at me. I don't have like a lot to say to people. But the more I learned, especially through Science of Self trainings, like the more I was like, I need to share this. Like, this is really powerful. And through the volunteer work that I do, I work with people in harm reduction. So they're struggling with addiction, and often they're struggling with a cycle of poverty, homelessness, incarceration. And to literally touch somebody in a caring way, it was explained to me in the very beginning. And, I knew this, like, on a literal level, like, but to actually feel this off somebody is a different feeling. So, yeah, one of our teachers told us, or someone who works there, who is one of my teachers, like, sometimes the only time someone gets touched is when they're getting arrested or, like, in a traumatic situation, abused. Like, some of the participants, like, that's their only experience with physical touch. So to have somebody, first to have somebody just let you touch them is amazing in itself for people who are coming from such traumatized backgrounds. And then to literally pass on its love, that's what we're doing, because the participant will feel it. It's a very intuitive population. Like, it was explained to me as people who use substances are totally spiritual seekers. And I see that. Like, people know how to read you. Like, you don't have to say a word. You walk in, people know what your deal is. So yeah. I don't know where I veered off, but
No, well,
this has kind of been the path, right? And this is where I am now.
Right.
Yeah.
How long have you been teaching?
3 years.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
And so it started with you started taking yoga and then you started volunteering and they kind of just came together, or
Yeah,
what's
I mean,
that about?
I did yoga for a good, like around New York for a while, and checking out different studios and different styles of yoga, like you
Right.
listed, right? There's so many,
Yeah.
like New York is amazing. You have so many options here, and
Yeah.
so you really can like just check it all out. But then I finally felt like I found the teachers that I was gonna do my yoga trainings with. And yeah, so since then, I'm like, I'm going to help you. My teacher for Science of Self is Roseanne Vaughn. And I was like, I'm going to help you. She deeply wants to help people, like in a way I've not really seen. It's like, it's beautiful. It's amazing. So I'm like, if you want to help, I'm going to help you. Let's do it, you know?
That's so cool.
That's so, yeah, generous. That's amazing. So going back to your meridian yoga sequencing, you said it combines several different forms of yoga. Do you, just for our listeners who maybe not don't know too much about yoga in
Right.
general, can you break down what Dharma, Mitra, Ashtanga, Hatha, and Vinyasa are and how
Right.
they differ and how you use them in your practice?
Well, these were the teachers of Roseanne Vaughn, where she's pulling like she's my teacher for the sequencing, and one of the teachers she holds dear is Dharma Mitra, who is 80 this year or last year, maybe he's 81.
Yeah,
this year.
I think
he's here.
I saw on
24th
his
Street.
Wikipedia that 1939 he was
Yeah.
born, so
Amazing.
must be turning
Wow.
81 this year.
Yeah, amazing. You should go to his class.
So cool.
But he very much is like about like accessing your heart and helping others, and so that is definitely trickled down. I love going to Dharma. It's like, yeah,
That's so cool.
I
and it's
think
just,
I've seen his
I think
classes
that's-
on ClassPass.
Yeah, it's possible. People need to be on Class Plus in order to do their thing with business
Yeah.
of yoga. That's
Business
a whole other
has to be done
conversation.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sequence is a master sequence that Roseanne has come up with, and it pulls from these styles. So Ashtanga, when you think of Ashtanga, you think of Patabi Joyce, people call Guruji, and what was the other one?
It's Hatha and Vinyasa.
Yeah, and Hatha. I need to probably Google all of that, but
It's if it helps at
yeah,
all.
Vinyasa you think it's like flow,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and the Vinyasa, which is like a sun salutation.
Vinyasa, so it's like when you move through poses like in a flow as opposed to right?
Yeah, but New York loves Vinyasa, so
Mhm.
Vinyasa is like a thing in New York. I feel like people really like look for Vinyasa. And Hatha, when you think Hatha, I mean, I would love to have more technical terms for everything, so I sound smarter. But when you think Hatha, when I think Hatha, I'm like, oh, it's going to be slower, more about the postures,
Yeah.
and when I think Vinyasa, it's like the movement towards the postures. And Dharma really likes to hold poses, and it's almost like the transition to the postures is not as flowy as some of the other styles.
Mm.
And so in this sequence in particular, or the poses or the style that I teach or that we teach, you're holding the poses for a long time, and that can really drive someone insane. But the point of that is self-knowledge, right? Because what are you left with when you're in a pose? And so you're left with observing your internal environment. Where do you hold your stress? You know, is something coming out, an emotion? Is it anger? Is it fear? Is it shock? Is that something that's living in the memory of your body from an experience that you had that you weren't conscious of? So beyond the styles of yoga, it is also holding for quite a long time, which is hard for a New Yorker who I'm sure people are in there and they're like, TikTok, I gotta go, what's for dinner?
Yeah. Well, and it's
And-
also like the sense of being busy in the body, or like translates to like I want to feel busy throughout the class.
Right. But how are you, that is in itself the distraction.
Right,
So how are you
exactly.
supposed to know if you don't let it all settle and then first listen to your breath and then observe,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's an element
Yeah,
of
I
holding
think it-
poses for a while.
I love that. I just recently was exposed to that style of yoga of holding long poses because I really had only been ever taking vinyasa style classes, you know, yoga to the people or whatever. And I'm obsessed with it now. And it was honestly not that we're not sponsored by ClassPass, but it was through ClassPass, and I realized that I'm really drawn to those kind of classes that are very kind. You know, like I feel like there's that kind of factory style workout class that's just like get in, get out, you know, get your heart rate up to a certain point, sweat, and then leave. And there's a few other classes that I've taken that are very much focused on what is your body telling you? How are you feeling right now? What is this bringing up for you? Like, can you, you know, is this where you want to stay? Then fine. If you want to go for on, you can. And I like really, really enjoy that style of teaching very much. It feels much, much kinder to my body than, you know, kind of like
Was
quick,
that yin?
high
yin
intensity
style?
interval training.
Right.
Then what?
Was that yin style? Like, what was the title? Was it yin
you know,
style yoga?
they didn't have they did speak a little bit about yin and yang, and there was like some talk of traditional Chinese medicine in these classes, but they really just called them like restorative yoga, or one was called CBD and chill, and you took a shot of CBD and then
Right.
it was like very relaxing.
Right. Did you have a lot of props?
Yes, it was like blanket
Yes.
and blocks
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what do you call the pad thingy?
Yeah. Bolsters.
Yes, bolsters. Which I had never used. I've only used blocks before, but now I love now using all those kind of things. It was all about supporting yourself and feeling good.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that's like restorative. Right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, my class or our sequence is it can be actually quite challenging, but you are holding it for a long time. So it's a little bit different than that.
okay.
But I
still would love.
But
I
I
still
know
want to
what
take your
you're-
class anyway.
Yeah, no, and please come. But that's beautiful. Like you're able to hold something so that you can tune in. And then because you're in a pose, I think what you know, people are like, "Oh, muscles." But actually, what about your connective tissue? Because it takes your connective tissue several minutes to kind of move around and stretch. So
Oh, that's
it's
such a
really
cool thing to think about.
important, connective tissue, because you
Yeah.
can really be all like jammed up in there, and you're
And-
like, why does my back hurt? And you're like, why does my jaw, and I have a tight hip and all this stuff going on? But it's really like all connected on these energy pathways or
Yeah, and don't they
meridians.
now say that the connective tissue is considered the biggest organ in the body? Like it's all one organ, and like they were like skin's out, connective tissue's in.
Yeah, I think there's
Whoa.
not a lot of research like in the past, but now that's emerging, and so
Yeah.
definitely. So what we're talking about is really important for general health. Even. Yeah.
I had a Tai Chi teacher, going back to what you were saying, who was very into the idea that you hold experiences in your body, and that if you
Yes.
have like tension or pain somewhere, it may be like it's probably that you are holding things from your past.
Definitely.
And that I wanted to point out when you said that, because I very much subscribe to that.
Yeah, and you're pointing to your back.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
upper back between your shoulder blades. A lot
Mhm.
of people have tension there, and so what are you holding there and why?
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
But in a very like figurative way. This is the bladder meridian. and
Right.
It runs down your back body on either side of your spine, and there are shoe points.
Here you can.
But like through it, it's like lung, pericardium, heart,
Right.
right? And each of these points represents an organ. And so most people are pretty tight in between their shoulder blades.
Yeah.
And if you think about what that might represent, your heart and the connective tissue or the sac that surrounds your heart, it makes complete sense as to why we would have tension there, because we're protecting ourselves.
We're protecting our hearts.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
and
Ugh.
that's the other crazy thing, is opening it. Like, what
Right.
happens when you work to open your heart? Like, is it chaos? Is it beautiful? What do you find in there when you look in and try to tap into that? So,
Yeah.
It's so scary.
Yeah, and I found like
Yeah, it's like probably the bravest thing you can do is to open your heart, whatever that means. I think that means something. People have their own interpretations of it, but it's very brave.
Yeah, and it can be really scary and hard to let go of tensions or pains that you've had for a long time. And it, like, for a lot of people, from what I saw just taking that kind of class, sometimes it really, and myself included, like, you just cry. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you'll just hit something and it'll relax, and you just are like, oh, and I'm weeping.
Yeah, and you need to let that out.
You know?
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
definitely have
very
had
into that.
experiences like that. You're like, why am I crying all of a sudden? Yeah.
Ooh, I meant to, we didn't do, and I wanted to go back and just quickly say, like, I feel like we've used the phrase traditional Chinese medicine a lot, and I feel like people have a general understanding of it, but I wanted to just quickly, I did a little Google, and just wanted to, like, specifically define.
Yes, I think we should definitely define it, yes. Because I
And
think
I'm
there's a lot
using
of
Wikipedia. There's a
confusion.
lot more information than this out there, but just so that we're all on the same page, that it's not just like a general term. Although it does cover a whole bunch of stuff. But so when we talk about traditional Chinese medicine, or according to Wikipedia, and you can always feel free to correct. This is just
so
like
curious. What is Wikipedia?
we throw information out. You're the expert.
No,
you know,
yeah,
jump
cool.
in. Oh, I still have water in there. Oops, sorry. I hope I didn't splash you. Okay, traditional Chinese medicine is a branch of traditional medicine that's said to be based on more than 3,500 years of Chinese medical practice. It includes various forms of herbal medicine, acupuncture, cupping therapy, gua sha, massage, bone setting, exercise, and dietary therapy. And is somewhat, according to Wikipedia, influenced by modern Western medicine, but whatever.
recently.
One of the basic tenets of traditional Chinese medicine is that the body's vital energy, or qi, is circulating through channels called meridians that have branches connected to bodily organs and functions. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on were just that, so the doctrines of Chinese medicine are rooted in some specific books in some cases. So there's this book called, I'm going to butcher pronunciation and I apologize in advance, but Huangdi Neijing, which is the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon that's roughly 2,000 years old, and the treatise on cold damage called Shanghan Lun, which is over 2,100 years old. There's like these books that exist that are the roots of some of the specific stuff. And then there's also like cosmological things. There's the yin and yang and 5 phases. Now, what all that means, I don't necessarily know, but it sounds to me like you might know.
It's about moving chi.
Yeah.
Right? And that there's chi in everything.
Right.
Like in the, out there and then in here, like kind of what we've talked about. So the things that happen in our everyday life affects the flow of chi in our body. So all of the modalities you listed helps to correct that, whether it's a deficiency or an excess and something might need to be released or something like that. I'm still learning. I think what's amazing about this, and it's crazy to wrap your head around this idea of like learning these ancient, thousands-of-year-old kind of knowledge. As a Chinese American, maybe second, I think I'm second generation. All of that's like kind of weird. I'm learning more about my family. But how far I have come, or maybe people similar to me, are from this knowledge. Like I have friends who are Asian American who they've never had acupuncture or they don't know anything about this. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. Like, what are we brought up to do or to learn? And it might not be this, even though this is technically like your culture. What does it mean to be like of your culture? And people put that on you because of how you look. So that idea of outside perspective versus inside perspective, and like, what does it mean to be like Chinese, in air quotes. But so to learn about this is also an interesting kind of coming around to like wanting to learn about this culture that's supposed to be a culture that I'm from, but I feel that it's easy in this modern world to feel very disconnected from it. So yes, it is all about chi.
Cool.
And the flow of chi.
Yeah. Do you know what the 5 phases are? I feel like you used that
It's
phrase
like
earlier.
5 elements.
Or 5 elements.
I don't know if 5 phases and 5 elements are the same, but
Right.
5 element theory does kind of heavy stuff. I don't know if I can
That's okay.
describe that now, but it's
Also, no pressure.
yeah. But it I can relate it to maybe like Ayurveda or even in astrology. Like you have your elements like water, fire. So this is the same thing. It's like fire, wood, water, air. What else is there? There's a
Metal?
Stone? Metal?
Yeah, there's metal element, right? So to take metal is associated with grief and loss. And then if you're going to associate that with an organ, that's associated with your lungs and your large intestine, meridian and organ. So
Wow.
like the liver is fire. No, it's wood. The liver is wood. I think fire because I'm Sagittarius, because now I'm mixing up all my systems. But I also really identify with being very liver, because livers are like, oh, do a lot of stuff, and they're kind of angry. So anger is associated with liver. Springtime, so we're about to embark upon like liver season. So you think about like wood, you think about the plant that's coming out of earth, which is spring. So it's like this very like figurative.
It's cool.
Figurative
I mean, it's complicated.
ideas.
It's like
so,
a big
right, but
set of things to...
it's figurative and it's in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And you can easily make yourself a head case, like thinking about all of it. But then you could also like really relax in this idea of like the Taoism is just like find the void, like from
Find the
nothing,
void.
from nothing comes something, and the natural way. And like I'm like, oh, okay, like there's no point to meditation. Like I read in one book, it's just like it's just the natural way. Think about animals, like look at animals. Okay.
Animals are always meditating.
Yeah, they are, right? Like animals. And so I was like, oh, cool. Like that takes the pressure off. So I don't.
That's blowing my mind.
Right? Like, cool. Cool. So I have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So it's scratch the surface.
Yeah.
I think that's. No, sorry. Go ahead, Em.
No, you first. I was just gonna be like, and that's all we're hoping to do here. Scratch
No,
the surface.
I think that's what it is, though. I mean, we've had other guests on who practice Haitian Vodou or who practice Ifa, and I think that this is something, and even I think with like the Western kind of millennial witch culture popping up again and kind of trending, I think and people wanting to do yoga and learn more about that or going to meditation, it's booming right now, and I think it speaks to this kind of huge universal need and desire to connect and to take a step back and look at not only like where we come from, but where are we going, and we're more plugged in than any other generations before, and so it's really hard to stay constantly, online all the time and be hit with all this kind of sensory, feedback, and so I think there's a big need and a desire for a lot of people to calm the mind, to figure out how can we still listen to ourselves, how can we still, stay in tune with our bodies and our minds and be healthier and live better and live more mindfully. Because everything right now outside kind of pushes us away from that. And so I think like there is, even though, I think speaking to your heritage, it's something I think a lot of us think about. It's like, well, what is it to be Asian American? What is it to be anything? What is it to be a woman? And like, what does that mean for me? And how can, do I have a connection to this or not? Do I have a right to this or not? What speaks to me? I don't know. I'm just babbling right now, but I think it's all like this all resonates so much. And I think that's why people are interested in quote unquote witchcraft. We want to try and go back to the earth, go back to our ancestors, go back to nature.
Yeah. And it's also sort of appealing in like a I don't know, I feel like it's difficult to do something that's deep and big and like, it's not just like, okay, I'm going to go to a yoga class, but like really kind of deepen your understanding of these of different practices, but it's also really healthy and like it feels good to like challenge yourself to do that, I think, in the modern world type of thing.
I mean, I would
Totally.
ask, like, you had mentioned we're the most plugged in. So are we the most connected
Right.
to self and to others, right? I don't know if we are. And
Right.
that's what that urge is coming, is why, right? The indication that maybe it's an illusion that we have so much and we're so plugged in, but are we really truly authentically connecting with each other or with ourselves? Like, do we even know what's going on in our bodies? Have we given our power to somebody else, like an expert, without understanding what's happening internally first, you know? These are
Yeah.
my questions unanswered.
Unanswered. Still good.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to ask those same questions. At least, yeah, I think I have. I don't feel as aware of myself as I could be. I feel like I'm constantly trying to distract myself from feeling things. And I think my witchcraft practice personally, as well as like going to therapy and like just being an artist in general, it's always this kind of push and pull, this like tug of war of like distract, shove down, shut down, push away, and no, feel, be, breathe. It's it's
Yeah.
it's so fun.
Yeah, and while I feel like yoga and traditional Chinese medicine are not necessarily things that fall under the witchcraft umbrella in some ways, that's part of, I don't know, I feel like the reason that it seemed like a good fit for this show, as well as being something that a lot of our sort of listenership would be interested in, is that there is that overlap of being about mindfulness and about connecting to your world and your earth and your body and whatever else, and just looking at it as a way to relate to the sort of greater energies around us, whatever you may believe
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, and the experience of it, maybe at the first time, it feels like magic, because you're like, what the,
Right.
or power, like what is that feeling, like what just came up there? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's why people are, oh yeah, you're totally a witch. I'm like, oh cool, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, you also work.
I mean,
at
you
a
can
a
call
yarn
yourself
store.
whatever. Yeah. I think, yeah, absolutely.
Classic
I think
witch
that Emily and I have
locations.
learned over these 3 seasons, everything that we've, covered has been really, like Emily was saying, at its core about mindfulness, about empowerment, about self-love, about connection to ourselves, greater connection with ourselves and the world around us. And
Yeah, or a method
And-
of understanding our world.
yeah, and they're all just, it's all just different tools, all just different practices and names to really, I think, achieve the same thing, which is more harmonious, fruitful, happier quality of life,
Yeah.
And then when you have that, what do you do?
panic
Right,
and
but-
destroy.
right.
Go to the woods.
What happens
Shut it
when
all
you
down.
achieve that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you were speaking like a
Let me know when you
universal
find
human
it.
being.
You help other people.
Right.
Yeah, that's
That's
the answer.
oh, that's lovely. I love that.
You
That's
put out a
nice.
lending hand. Or a
Yes.
helping hand. A lending hand. You know what I mean. Put out a helping hand.
Going back to traditional Chinese medicine, because I'm fascinated by this, because I, not to be like, ooh, class pass again, but I did take this one class where they combined traditional
This
Chinese
podcast
medicine
brought to you by
techniques.
ClassPass.
I know. Use code. What? No, I'm just kidding. But the teachers combined yoga, Pilates, dance, like regular calisthenic movements and traditional Chinese medicine beliefs and practices. But I was talking to the teacher after the class because I really enjoyed it. It felt very kind and it felt just really good in my body. And he was saying that in his mind that traditional Chinese medicine is kind of like a preventative lifestyle, where it's like, whereas Western medicine is more like, push yourself until you break an ankle, then come see us.
Right.
Or like push yourself until you get sick and then you go to the doctor. That's Western medicine mentality, whereas traditional Chinese medicine is more like, no, if you do these things every day, if you practice and live this lifestyle every day, you will prevent yourself from getting really sick.
Because you're maintaining a harmony
Yes.
within.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, you said that it's preventative, right? And it also addresses underlying issues. So in Western medicine, you're like, I have a rash, and someone will give you an ointment, like a steroid cream, but not really like, why do you have this rash? Or everything's like dermatitis, which is inflammation, but like, why does that exist? You know, so that is a whole other like set of what else is going on in your life, form of diagnosis or assessment. So
Right.
I
yeah,
love
why
that,
do you
yeah.
have that rash? You know, maybe that's why I'm cued into it, because I had rashes growing up, and like such dissatisfaction in just being handed like a tube of like steroids cream.
Yeah.
You're like, no,
It's like a Band-Aid.
yeah, not okay. And then there's even the thought that maybe that goes deeper in, and then I don't know, like
Really, like, where's it coming from? Why is
right,
it
but
happening?
you're shoving it back down just by like taking care of the symptom and not really addressing the root cause of it, and then it just possibly gets worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah, my brother and I both, we grew up in a very kind of stressful home. It was a very emotional environment, and my brother had chronic migraines growing up, and we both had nosebleeds all the time, and I had like chronic stomach issues growing up as well as a child, and as soon as we both left the house and went to college, they went down so much. Like, I rarely ever get a bloody nose now. And I still have stomach issues here and there, but it's usually because I, eat a whole pizza before bed. But like, it's not, we both realized, oh shit, like this was emotional. Like,
Yes.
and to this day, like if I get really upset or stressed out, I immediately get a stomach ache, or sometimes if I get really upset, I'll get a nosebleed. Like my physical health is absolutely affected by my mental state.
yeah, it directly affects your organs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how do you know to take care of your organs? Question mark. Right? Like that's not addressed necessarily.
Yeah, like, what do you do to even do the upkeep?
Right. Pranayama, breath work, because your diaphragm's basically right there touching a bunch of organs, very important organs. Just the
So what
work
is
about
pranayama?
understanding. It's the practice of controlling your breath so that you could also access your prana and chi. So I do it every day. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
one easy practice that someone could do just to kind of get started before they delve into
Right.
it
Well,
deeper?
with COVID-19, right? There's
Yeah.
that test where you like breathe in for 10 seconds. So I mean, I like to start yoga sometimes if people are beginners with like a square breath. So you inhale. You could do it now. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. And repeat. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. You can take some deep, regular breaths. How did that feel?
I love it so much. Every time I never do these, but every time I am forced to do one, I'm like, oh, I feel so good. That feels
Deep breathing rocks.
I mean, that's the other thing about all this. Like, you can, like, it's like, it's so much, but then it's just as simple as the breath. Like, what if that's just it? That's it. Secret to life.
yeah.
Just good
I mean,
breathing.
also
Right.
if like a lot, not to bring it back to witchcraft, but
No, bring it back to witchcraft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's the chi. You talk about chi, right? Our energy, and that is actually a really prevalent idea in a lot of like witch and Wiccan based practices. It's this idea of us generating our own energy in order to use in our spell work, and also drawing from the energy of others in the outside world. Nature, the elements. Gods or goddesses, ancestors, whatever you believe. But breath work is part of it as well. It just amazes me how many similarities there are throughout cultures of kind of this. Yeah.
Like, it sounds like
of this
yoga.
beliefs.
It sounds like like Chinese medicine. Like it sounds like I could just walk in and I'm like, what is she talking about? Oh, it must be yoga or Chinese medicine. But you're talking about witchcraft.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, it's all I mean, well, our ancestors obviously were onto something across the globe because it's in every single culture that we touched on, at least in our very brief, research as a podcast, right? I don't know. I'm babbling.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty universal idea that there is some sort of. I mean, no one can explain the spark of life and like energy and how it all works, except for. I mean, obviously people can explain electricity, but that's a different thing. But like, where does life come from, and how do you like? If you don't have an explanation for that, then why not work with these ideas that seem to be working for a lot of people for a long time?
From nothing.
Yeah,
It comes from the void.
it comes from the void.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all sorts of cultures have sort of grappled with that question of like, what is the force of the world, and how do you communicate with it, and how do you like live in harmony with it? And a lot of them have come up with a lot of the same answers, and that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to ask real quick. I know we're getting shorter on time, but I wanted to talk just quickly a little bit more about the void concept with the Taoism, and also yin and yang.
Yeah.
I wanted to define
Ooh,
those.
and I
Is
also
that okay?
okay, wait, I have another question also that I'm just piggybacking so I don't forget to ask. But those questions first, but then I also want to just know how working with meridians in yoga differs from like a standard yoga practice. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
yeah,
so
that's
first, the void. Sorry.
Right. So,
I mean, whoa.
Melissa, you just mentioned the void again. Can we talk a little bit further what you mean by that in terms of, because I know it kind of ties into Taoist beliefs.
Right. So from the emptiness or this idea of nothing, which I'm still working to understand. So forgive me if I'm like way off base. So there's nothingness, emptiness. Then there's chi, which is life force, energy. Then there's yin and yang, which I can go into more. And then from there, I believe, comes the 5 elements, which we kind of talked about, the 5 phases. And then from there is everything in the world. So yin and yang are seemingly opposing forces, but also very much in harmony with each other. So you think, and this is very much in yoga too. You have your sun side and your moon side. So sun, energy, heat, warmth, yang, right? Yin, moon, which I'm sure you can relate to as witches. Darkness.
I was like, me personally?
Yes.
Well,
you
yes, but
personally. Cold.
I know.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
me.
yes,
That's
yeah,
me.
yeah.
The moon.
So in yin yoga, like it's accessing this like slow, restorative, maybe long holds, and maybe more of a yang practice would be very active. So you think summertime also when people are very active, the sun is out, and then we're emerging from winter, which can be very yin. So it's darkness. People are hibernating in a way, and also so is nature. You know, a Tai Chi teacher will tell me that like, you know, the trees look like they're dead, but they're not. They've just pulled their energy inwards, and that's yin. That's yin. Right? So, and then if you look
Wow.
at the image, they both can't exist without each other. Like in yang, there is some yin. In yin, there is some yang, and then even in that, when you reach those, when you see like the crescents. From yin, then comes yang. It's never absolutely devoid of each other, from what I'm studying now. So, I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
rocks.
awesome.
And then, so when we talk about incorporating like meridians into yoga,
Right. You had that question. So, for example, your front body, we do a tapping. So stomach meridians on the front body, from the bottom of your eyeball, under your eyeball, down your face, sides of your mouth, down your neck, abdominals, quadriceps, front of shins to second toe. So that's your stomach meridian. So you can access it with needles, acupressure, or if you're in a yoga pose, something like camel, you're opening it up, you're stretching it, right? And then you can think about it. You can think about there's this point here, which people really have a hard time with because I think we're looking at the phones, but it's behind our collarbones, stomach 12, empty basin. It is a point that really can work to be released because I think a lot of energy gets stuck there, cutting off the flow between your head and the rest of your body. So even in any back bend, when you look up, you're working to release that. We're all doing it now. Because we need to, because we're all looking at our phones and the computers and we're all hunched over.
Yeah, listener, look at the ceiling.
Yeah, look at the ceiling. But protect your lower back.
Unless you're driving, in which case, wait until you get to where you're going.
Yes, right. Be safe. And then also that the meridian, you can access it even with your eyeballs. So looking up, where helps to stretch it. So and then think about your toes. So you can do a meditation on this in a back bend or something that might stretch or compress this meridian and follow the line of energy while you're holding it. So can you see a line from the right below your eyeball, down the front of your face, down your neck? Can you imagine a line of energy flowing down the front of your torso? They're either side, symmetrical, down your thighs, front of your shins to your second toe. So thinking about that while you're in a yoga pose can be very powerful.
Yeah.
Especially if stomach really resonates with you. If you're really stressed out and affects your digestion, maybe back bends will help you.
Yeah, that's so funny because I actually have a really hard time with back bends and I hold a lot of tension in my back, and I had like a breakdown in an acting class once after doing like a back bend stretch. And like the teacher came up to me and like let me like cry, and she was just like, "You have so much shame," and that has stuck with me ever since.
You have so much shame.
That's
Fuck
what
that
she told
teacher.
me.
Wow.
I mean, she wasn't wrong, honestly. But yeah, I think like I think it's all connected, like you were saying, Mel. It's like I think I have a lot of back tension and I have a lot of stomach issues as well.
Right.
I'm so fun.
But
You're a delight.
we all are like a great jumble of all of this, right?
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
beautiful.
Well, but the thing I think that's so great is that the things that you are practicing and learning and teaching I feel like I was just going through my head of all the different like health elements that I have, and I was like, oh, I think that all of this could help it. Like I think Chinese medicine and yoga and like all of this could kind of help.
I mean, I do, because it's all the process of learning why all of that exists for you. So of course it's going to help that. It's the journey, like the path to understanding yourself. Like how is all of that led up to what the symptoms that you feel, right? It's so empowering.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna come to your studio and become one of your best students.
You can.
So speaking of, how can our listeners learn more and get in touch with you and take classes with you?
Yeah, so I have a website, kind of still in progress, but it's melissasong.com, melissasong.com, and you can email me through that. And then on Instagram, it's mel_durga, and I teach at Surrey-side in Sunnyside at 1:45 on Saturdays, and Yoga to the People too on Fridays at noon. So yeah, come by. I'm always looking to do some more community classes as I work on privates and trainings and volunteering. It's kind of a lot, but it's really been an amazing process, and the people I'm meeting is really cool because people really, you're right, what you're saying, like people really are looking for something. And I think what it boils down to is understanding themselves, right? We've given a lot of power to our phone
Yeah.
to somebody else and to Google, just so.
To our social media notifications.
Yeah, like maybe what you're exploring here, and what we're all exploring, is trying to find some sort of selfness after we've given up a lot of power.
Yeah. Get some of that power back.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah,
a victim
baby.
of the MTA.
Right. Love the subway.
Right. Love your subway, love yourself.
Yeah.
Wow. T-shirt.
Yeah, put that on a tote bag. Do you want to do our tarot card thing now?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do it.
So at the end of every episode, we do a tarot card draw. And you, Mel, don't really do tarot.
No, but like maybe
So
this
you're-
is my next thing. Like, what?
So you're just along for the ride.
Yeah, I love this.
Kate's got
Join
her
us.
deck at home. Kate, what deck you got there?
I have my Universal Goddess deck.
I recognized it from the back, but I wanted to give you the chance to say
Yeah,
it.
thank you. Well, I was showing you guys earlier. I have to give a shout out. My boyfriend Matt gave me a new leather tarot card holder.
So cool.
With the sun and moon, and it's really beautiful. And he went to like Namaste and got it. And yeah, and this deck is one of my kindest decks. It has goddesses from all different cultures and practices, and representative of each card. So I always really like it. They feel like a bunch of really kind but tough loving moms who tell me things I don't want to hear. So anyway, I want to do something fun since I'm remote in my little isolation pod. I'm going to hold up 3 cards, and then Mel, you pick one. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's funny because I can see. I just turned. All right,
You know
so
which one's there, but Mel doesn't know.
No, I'm a very middle way person, so I'll take the middle one.
Middle?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I was worried about the whole right-left thing.
Cool.
Oh.
This is a wonderful card. We got the 8 of Wands.
Ooh. Oh, what a pretty card.
Look at her. She's
She's very American Beauty meets like Fern Gully.
Yes. We'll post
I'm
a
all
photo.
about Fern Gully lately. I don't know why.
Yeah,
That's my
Fern
only
Gully's
reference
on
point.
the mind. We'll
Fern
post it on
Gully-
our Instagram.
American Beauty meets Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
It is actually very Fern Gully. You're right on with that. So in the book it says, "Lie down with me on this soft grassy carpet. Smell the fragrances of spring. Close your eyes and dream your most beautiful dream. I am Flora, Roman goddess of flowering."
Spring!
Anytime.
It's spring is here, bitch. I'm so excited.
Totally.
I can't believe we got a spring card right before spring.
I know.
Daylight
it's
savings just happened, and now we're
such a
getting a
nice
spring
card.
card.
Oh, I wanted to mention another thing. For the trainings from Meridian Yoga, it's scienceofselfytt.com.
Ah,
Yeah,
thank you.
there's a training coming up in September. And then, do you want an ear seed?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Is that okay? I was gonna put an ear seed on Emily. I
What's
would've
an
put
ear
one on you.
seed?
Yeah, and you can have one too. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put it on Shenmen, which is Spirit Gate, and it is meant to calm the mind, calm anxiety, which is
I
really
want
relevant
one.
now. And it's instead of a needle, it's just a tiny gold seed, so it's meant to tonify your chi. So if you're not allergic to, yeah, you're not allergic to metal. So I'm just gonna put it on your ear.
Awesome. So it's the 8 of Wands upright is about movement, fast-paced change, action, alignment, or air travel.
So cool.
I know. Thank you for this.
Yeah, if you want to also turn your head, but you could also still read. I like
Which
what
way should
you're
I turn?
saying.
Like-
Well, face me because I want to get your other ear.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I can do is press on the heart point on your wrist. So you can get an experience of acupressure as well. So your hair is in there.
Oh, get it.
So
Okay,
yeah,
sorry, get
these
it.
two
You know what I mean.
points, you can self-stimulate it by pressing on them. And you can just scratch it out after 3 days.
Okay.
And then if you, this is heart 7, I'll hold both on either side. You can just close your eyes and breathe. So I'm accessing the heart meridian through one of the main heart points in your wrist. And then I just gave you an ear seed and Shenmen, Spirit Gate. So the hope is, besides calming the mind, is that you can help to connect to yourself and connect to others, because that's not interrelated, right?
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's amazing how something so simple can, like, I do this sometimes, and then I'll like put lavender and like smell, and people really tear up. Like, just something so simple as like spending time touching somebody for like a moment, or like sharing this like connection. People, like, it's very moving. I'm constantly like, whoa, like what just happened, like, or how simple it might seem, but and not to take it for granted.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sorry you're not here, Kate.
yeah, I know.
It's great.
I'll meet you in person.
Yeah.
We can do ear
We'll all have
seeds.
to like come hang out with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to stay grateful in the moment of taking care of myself and not being there.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like, it is good for you to be home and taking care of yourself and not out in Queens.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just also, would not want to get you guys sick. But that looks really cool. I'll play the part of our listeners who don't get it either.
Yeah. Oh, my ears feel good.
Do they? I think, let me just put that in.
Or I don't know. It's like I have like a, I don't know.
The chi is flowing. That's like when I got it in, I put it in the other day, and I was like, oh wow, I feel like it's almost warm. I was like, oh, maybe the chi is flowing. I think also, like, with COVID-19, like when I went to volunteer yesterday, I was like, is anyone going to show up? Like, does anyone want to be touched? But the people who came, it was really moving. They were really moved. And I like wanted to cry. I was like, this is so powerful. So maybe like now more than ever, when we don't want to touch each other, we really should be connecting in that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I have not been touched since, like probably a week. It's like definitely affecting me emotionally.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
is that the natural, what is the natural way of things? Is it to have that like connection with somebody where you are touching them, right? Yeah.
I know. And it's funny how like little things like that affect you. Because now I want to, I'm like, I want to
Right,
rub your
yeah.
should
Right, because I'm touching your hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, touch is so important.
And I'm not a hugger.
Yeah.
I did not like grow up with that. Really.
Right.
I'm like, don't necessarily veer towards that, but it's something that I'm like, oh, we do need this.
Yeah. Like when
I
you
need this.
like,
yeah.
I always think of myself as not being a very touchy person, really. But then, like, sometimes, you like, when you haven't in a while and someone hugs you or something, you're just like,
right.
because, like, your body needs it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you feel the energy off
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
And that's what I'm learning, too, is about your field. Like, you know, you can sense somebody's energy, their chi, their presence. However you want to, like, assign the name to it. Like, another teacher said, we're not a body with energy. We're energy with a body. Like, that's really cool thought.
Yeah.
You know, we're like sacks of energy.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. Well,
That's so cool. So people can find you at melissasung.com.
Yeah.
And you teach at Yoga to the People and at Surya Side.
Yeah. And then trainings with Science of Self.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for
we'll
us,
link to all of that.
Yeah, and we'll put you on our website. And
Thank you.
We'll, if you want to be tagged on social media, cool.
Tag me.
We'll tag you.
Yeah.
And for us, you can find us at witchcastpodcast.com. You can find us at witchcastpodcast on Instagram. And you can email us if you want to at witchcastpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
And while you're out there on the internet, why not like and subscribe to our podcast and give us a little like and subscribe? That's YouTube. Wait. Let me try that again. And while you're on the internet, why not give us a little 5-star rating and leave us a review if you're so inclined on iTunes Music, on Apple Music, because that helps us get found by other listeners if you're loving what you're hearing.
Yeah.
And if not, keep it to yourself.
If you want, can we do a quick little shout out to our newest review?
Oh, yeah. Wait, but I forget the username.
I have
Do
it
you
right here. So it's Wolfie Witch but which to spell WJTCH.
Sick.
This person wrote literally the best podcast ever.
I love that.
And a very, very kind 5-star review. So thank you, Wolfie Witch. We really appreciate you listening.
Thank you, Wolfie. Thanks for listening to us. You're the best listener ever, so that works out well.
You and every other listener.
You and all of our listeners. Listen,
Yes.
all of you are great. Thanks for listening. Seriously.
We love you. We love you so much.
And so at the end of every episode, we say hex yeah.
Yeah.
You want to
I'm
say it with
down.
us?
Debbie, you want to say it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Debbie. Yeah, and
Except
thank
for
you
this
again to QED
microphone.
Studios and Debbie for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And until next
Okay.
time, hex
Hex
yeah!
Cause it's Witchcast.
The Eight of Wands says the struggles of the Seven of Wands have now all but cleared, and you have the freedom and space to move forward with your plans. This 8 is a dynamic card containing a high level of energy that propels you forward to reach your goals at a much faster pace than ever before. You can expect to be very busy, but this is one of those good busy periods during which you are enthusiastic about the progress you are making.
And to butt in, that's very liver.
Yeah.
Yeah, in springtime. So that, like, totally, yes.
Rad.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Well, hi, everybody. It's Ed Mann, and over there it's...
Mindy Rickles.
You're right, and this is Mindy, Ed, and Don Rickles. It's a brand new podcast.
Yes, well, being the daughter of Don Rickles, it was a very, very interesting life. We're going to chat a little, but we're really going to talk about my dad, and we're going to see what memories this brings for me.
Let's play just a short clip of your dad on Jimmy Kimmel.
This is a treat for me to be on a show that's going nowhere. I swear to God.
It's Mindy, Ed, and Don Rickles. Bye, everybody.
Bye.